Hey guys, welcome back to Tamiya Legends, and once again, thank you for stopping by. So this is the next part of my speed run content that I'm making. So if you watched the last video on this is the Tamiya TA-05R chassis. It's kind of it's supposed to be a high-end touring car chassis. Lots of blue trick bits on it, alloy and what have you, and it's a really nice looking thing. In the last video we got this Honda NSX shell done for it, which is a little bit custom. So the purpose of this video is, at the very end of this video we'll get this out on some flat tarmac hopefully, and we'll the idea is just to kind of set it, well, first of all see how it runs, make any little sort of adjustments to, you know, get it in a straight line, make sure it's turning correctly and all the good stuff before we start putting bigger motors in there. So I've dug the electrics out, and that's, so in this video we're going to fit the electrics, get it all working, get it to a car park and have a blast with it, and then the car's basically dialed in, hopefully, then I can start adding a bit more power to it, and we'll start doing the GPS runs. Now there is one thing I'm going to do with this shell. At the end of the video of this shell, I wasn't loving it, if I'm honest, and I'm still not. I love the colour, I love the bits of black I've put on it. I put some carbon wrap on the roof, I just don't like it. And you guys know what it's like. If you've created your own shell and it's not quite doing it for you, it doesn't go away, does it? So initially what I was going to do with this, it was going to be all white in the Mobile GT colours. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to strip this carbon off, I'm going to take a few of the little decals off, and then I'm going to add these decals to it because it'll fill the car up and that's what it needs. So we'll get that done as well. So let's get stuck into this. So first thing I'm going to do is a shell. Now I'm going to do this all off camera because I don't want to bore you, because I had a long video doing this shell. But basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some Tamiya polycarbonate cleaner. I'm going to get all this black off. I'm going to take the carbon roof off, possibly take these grills off, and then I'm going to fit this decal sheet, or a lot of it, and then I'll come back to the car as it is, and then you can make your own mind up if you think it's improvement or not. Again, even if it's not, it'll just stay like that because this car's about running, it's not really about the looks. And just on that, I spent a lot of time on these wheels, obviously tyre decals, and I sprayed these up, but these are actually Tamiya Super Slicks, quite expensive with foams in and stuff. Now when I run this car with these wheels, I'm going to have to make sure I glue them all correctly. So for this run we're just going to be using some Sorex 110 touring car wheels, which are glued, foams and everything, and I've run these tyres before on tarmac and they're really grippy. So we'll put a set of those on when we take it out. So just before I show you the shell, I'll just show you the electrics I'm fitting. So I actually got a steering servo with this car, which is a Power HD analog 3001 HB, and that's got the mounts on it. So I've dug a couple of screws out because it's got a little bit of an odd fitment, one through the chassis and then one from the top of the chassis. So that's a steering servo we're going to be using. Motor wise, as I said, to start with, just going to go with a brand new Silvercam 540. There's quite a few like unknown variables with this car. I've got the car, I've never run it, I've not taken anything apart, so I don't know what the diffs are like and the drive system. It all feels great. Now it did come with a motor when I got the car, and it's got this spur gear on. Not sure what the gear ratio is. Now obviously on a speedrun car the gear ratio is massively important, but I've actually only got the pinion that came with this car, which is this thing here. It's huge. Now I think it's a 64 pitch, but as I say, it's the only pinion I have that, so I'm just going to run it now. I do know that Sam, the guy I bought this car off, he raced this car, so I've got a sneaky feeling this gear ratio is going to be pretty decent anyway. But anyway, that's what we're going to do. I also dug some bolts out, which I've screwed in, and some washers. That's not focusing. So that'll be good to bolt down. So that's the motor for now. And then I've got a first outing for a a Tamiya speed controller that I've never used, which is a TEU-302BK. Nice looking thing, as I said, never used it. This is the TBL-02S superseded this one, but yeah, I like it. Now this is a better spec than the TBL-02. It's still only a 23 turn brush limit. What else is and it doesn't do brushless like the TBL-02 does. But yeah, I'm kind of looking for radio gear that I can leave in this car and then just swap the motors as we start to build the speed up. So I've tested all this as well, and it's all working out the car. Now, radio gear. This is a new set, never used it. Tactic 2.4. It came with the Hotshot that I got. So again, so did the Speedo. But I just whizzed the radio gear out because I thought, well, I'm not using that for a while. And a little bit of a bonus, which I didn't realise, the receiver's antennaless, which is awesome. So that's perfect for a car like this because it's one less wire to put, and it's a dinky little thing. So that's the radio we're going to be using. And I checked to see if the LiPo fits in on this chassis, and it does. I just have to reverse the battery strap 180, so it goes on the flat side, but that all bolts down lovely. So in theory, we're absolutely good to go to get all the electrics in. So right, when I come back, the shell will be done. Right, that's it, and I think it looks way better. The only thing I couldn't do was cover these two holes, but obviously I'm holding it up at an angle. When it's sort of flat, you don't see it. Got rid of the paint on those edges, so I think that front looks better. Little bit of decal. I've not really done much on the back, just those Bridgestones. But yeah, I just think that looks better. Let's bang it on the car. Right, I'm way happier with that. Yeah, I know it's a lot of messing around and it was a bit pointless what I did on the first one, but I still think the yellow works. I think that looks pretty sweet, to be fair. Obviously I've got ride heights and stuff to fix as we go, but yeah, I'm going to leave that for now. That's pretty bad boy now. I like that. Right, back on the chassis. So first thing we're going to do is get this motor in. Now, it has this, like, I don't know what, if it's like a protection thing for the end bell of the motor, but when it's on, the motor won't fit, so I'm just going to have to take that off, and then we'll get the motor mounted, and we'll get the pinion in. Got the instructions, and the pinion goes the opposite way around. So let's get that, and then let's get it meshed correctly. Well, bummer, hit a snag straight away. It's not the end of the world, but so obviously I'm mounting the motor in, and this bottom screw here, you're supposed to put a very long Allen head screwdriver all the way through. There's a hole through this bit of the chassis, through the centre. Obviously this is too short to reach, and I don't have anything else. Bummer. So obviously I can get by. I've just dropped the centre section out just to lift it up, which will allow me to do it. It's not ideal, but the issue I've got is, obviously this is the key bit that I'm changing, is the motor, and I need it to be quite straightforward and simple. Bummer. I'm going to have to see if I can get a hold of that particular tool, because it will make life easier so I don't have to do that every time. Got loads of adjustment for pinions, it's incredible. Right, let's mount it. So that's the motor in, correct meshing, all feels nice and smooth. Put the guard back on, so the wire speeder's going to go here, so we'll get these wires tucked in there. But that is an issue going forward for me. That's becoming a bit of a mission to swap motors. I mean, it's not the end of the world, but it's just going to slow me down on what I want to do. Anyhow, not to worry. Right, next step, let's get this steering servo in. Right, on the third attempt, servo is now in. Switch on, and directions are now correct. I've altered the steering rate, probably wants to be adjusted a little bit more, but seems a decent servo. That is plenty quick enough for what I'm doing. Cool. So, motor, steering servo in. So I guess I'll just connect that. I guess I'll just clean the back of this speedo up, get that crap off. Then we'll get some gel tape, clean this up here, get the speedo mounted in, and then really, actually, sorry, when I'm doing that, I'll do a receiver at the same time. So clean this up, and we'll get a speedo there, receiver in there, and then we'll have a look at the wiring. Get in there now. So that's it, all the electrics in now. So receiver's down here, nice little dinky one as well. As I said, it's antennaless, so that saves me a job. Although the aerial tube is just there, so the wiring would have been pretty neat on that one. And then we've got the TEU-302 BK, sorry, speedo in the back. I positioned it this way because obviously the motor wires I'll have to scrunch up and tie wrap here. The battery wire I've got to figure out because you've got to be very careful with the belts. Obviously the battery's going to sit there. So in fact, to be honest, when it's connected, anyway, we'll worry about that later. Servo wire, receiver wires, I'm going to tie wrap up, and then this silly speedo has a switch, so I'm just going to tuck that out of the way, and we'll leave it in the on position. So obviously we'll just on and off is when we connect a battery, unless I can fit it in there. Maybe there is a look. Oh, that's a very tight fit. Do you know what? Forget what I just said. That works fine. I've got some thin double-sided tape and we'll put it there. Ah, perfect. Right, let's tidy it up and then we can give it a quick bench test. Right, that's that bit done. I'm reasonably happy with it. I've put a few sort of tie wraps in certain places. The battery going across up here, obviously with the big shell on, battery wires are not an issue on touring cars. So I've tie wrapped those down there and that's tucked in. The switch, as I say, has got just a bit of double-sided tape on it. Tie wrap to motors here, which I should, by just snipping this one tie wrap, that should allow me to, next time I change a motor out, and this lifts up as well out of the way, so when I do come to change that motor, what I might do while I'm running it is just use a tie wrap on this section through here, just in case that could pop up and start touching that spur gear. In fact, I will do that. So quick bench test. Can you see that? So steering looks nice and sharp forward. I'll go flat out and then brake, then reverse, forward. Excellent. Get off. So that's awesome. That is ready to get on the get it in the car park and let's just see how it runs. Kind of excited. Right, so I've changed the wheels, guys, because I've not messed with the Tamiya wheels just yet because they need gluing on super slicks. So these that are on are actually 110 touring car proper Sorex wheels and tyres. So just bear in mind it's about -2 for heat today, so we're going to have no temperature in these car tyres whatsoever. But anyway, let's just have a little play. Make sure it's going in a straight line and what have you. That looks reasonably good in a straight line. Right, let's have a open it up a little bit. Tell you what, that's quick, isn't it, for a 540? Ah, that's what happens when I brake. That's because of that one-way diff. Look, I'll just apply a little bit of brake. If you do it gently like that, but if I do it fast, that happens. I think we're going to have to change that front diff out, guys. But, wow, that's handling fantastic. Super smooth. Right, for a first quick test run, that's not a bad thing at all. Well, guys, super chuffed with this. This is a great place to start for all the content I want to make, doing the different motors, testing different batteries, things like that. This thing is quick. The gear ratio, I don't know what it is yet, but I'm pretty sure it's 48 dp, which means there's even more improvement in the gearing, but that's for later down the line. But you know, that was just a 540 run on 2S, you know, and I don't know what it was hitting, but that was close to 25 miles an hour. So let's get cracking with the next video, and we'll actually get it GPSed and see what it's actually doing on 2 and 3S. So guys, once again, thanks so much for watching, it's much appreciated. If you are new to this channel, if you could please consider liking and subscribing to support us, and if you do that, smash that notification buzzer for our weekly videos. And as always guys, happy seeing.